Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Friday. You're probably going to hear some background noise in today's stream because it is really coming down at the moment. Rain-wise. I'm right next to a window. So I've got a few jobs to strip down. We've got an SW-500 that you can see on screen. So this is the chronograph. And we also have the SW-200, which is the manual. Sorry, not manual, automatic. So we'll get those both stripped down today. Depending on how I feel, how tired I get, may even start assembling. We'll see how the day goes. There are no hands or dials or cases for these. These are just purely movements. Give me 1 second to get a battery for the big camera. So we could be in for a long night, but it's a Friday. I've not really got any set plans tomorrow. So I can be quite relaxed about it all. I'm also going to show you another job I have. Not doing this one today, but I think it's rather nice. Longines chronograph. Got a glass case back. Now it runs a 2892 base, and it's got one of the what we refer to as a piggyback chronograph system. And what that means is the chronograph components or the chronograph function is a complete unit which is then housed on top of the 2892 movement. So the chronograph itself isn't integrated into the movement. So it runs 2892 and then slapped on top is a chronograph function. I might do that this weekend on stream. We'll kind of see how these other jobs go. But I think it looks quite nice. I love the style. It's very similar to my long jeans. But if I go get my long jeans, we'll compare the two. So obviously here we have the chronograph, and then here is my long jeans. I love the style. Nice clean dial, blue hands. It's very nice to look at. Right, let's put these aside. We can get on to the stripping down. Probably actually going to do the chronograph second. We'll start with the SW-200. Right, let me get some basic tools out and we can start. But I hope everyone is having a good Friday. Be a nice chill session today. Strip down a few movements, perhaps a little bit of assembly, but we're in no rush. And hopefully tomorrow, one of the things I do want to do is sort out the Omega, the one that we've been working on recently, the 501. This guy. I want to get the case polished up, get the bezel machined down so that it'll actually fit. And that can be completed. The only other thing I need to get for it are the case clamps. Yeah, 2 new case clamps, 2 new case clamp screws. I don't need hand levers right now because there's no dial. Actually, what I might do is do the strip downs, do the stream for the SW-200 and the SW-500, and after that I might actually end stream and then continue doing a recording I'm doing for the Trenton Pocket Watch. Because if I can get the Trenton Pocket Watch video up maybe Sunday, that'd be pretty good going. But I might be pushing it. Okay, I think for the time being, I think got everything. One more thing. Rubber ring, there we go. So SW-200, this is the Solita variant of the 2824. That's why they look so similar. Right. As mentioned, there's no dial, no hands. Purely movements. Get a movement holder out for them. Oh, how do I best go about this? I was going to take the rotor off just because that's going to be in the way. Get my screw basket ready. I know it's quite late, and a lot of my viewers, I think, probably be a bit late for them. So just taking off the rotor. Be a little bit in the way. I'm surprised the hour wheel didn't fall through or fall off. Okay, so the dial washer is still on the hour hand, hour wheel. Okay, washer is off. Put the wheel away. Let's see if I can get a better angle. Yeah, I think that's better. And has YouTube updated the page layout? Because now it looks like suggested videos are straight underneath the video, comments are off to the side. They implemented that a little while ago, but then reverted that decision. Looks like they've gone back. Had a bit of fun with a job at work today. It was a vintage Rolex, a lovely 18 karat gold case. Sadly, water got into it, affected the keyless. The stem was not savable, and I've spent a little bit of time, past couple of days, basically adapting a stem to fit, because getting a stem for it is nearly impossible. So I've had a little bit of practice on the lathe today and yesterday, and I want to do a quick post eventually, probably tomorrow, just a little post, because I've now got, I do have a Bowley lathe, but I've not had a way to power it. And I've now got a very old school, I don't know how to describe it. It's a hand powered, I guess, motor, or a hand powered mechanism which you attach to a tabletop via like a bench clamp. So I'll be able to actually use my lathe a bit more. Because usually, I guess the common way of powering up lathes is with a sewing pedal and motor. It's the common way of doing it. You get a nice big wooden frame and use a sewing motor with the foot pedal. Oh, this one's tight. There we go. But somebody at work uses the old, I guess, hand-powered lathe. So I've had a little bit of practice with one now. and my dad was looking through some of his old tools and found a very, very similar device, and has very generously handed it down to me. So I'm going to spend some time getting that set up as well during the course of the week. So I kind of just talking really. Should we say what I'm doing? I've just taken off the automatic. So we'll take apart the automatic now. It's one singular screw. Oh, holds down the plate. Then we've got two reverses, a reduction wheel, and a driving wheel for the ratchet wheel. So 4 wheels in total. Now these reverses are different. One of them has a pinion, one of them doesn't, so future reference. And sometimes the pivots on these wear out. So I was going to quickly check them. Ooh, okay. May need some new reverses. I'd probably opt to replace them both. I'll put them through the machine and I'll check them when they've been cleaned. Sometimes residue build-up can affect how it appears, so it might not be as bad as I think it is, but I think they're going to need replacing. It's not terrible, but it's bad enough. In fact, you see the residue build up in the jewels. Hey there, Noel. How you doing? Hope you're having a good Friday. Just gonna quickly go in, just clean these jewels up a little bit. Yeah, I think those pivots are just too far gone. I can see the build up on residue around the jewels and on the plate, so it's a bit of a late one today, but I'm trying to keep the streak going. So the goal, what I'm going to try and do for the month of July, is I want there to be a piece of content going up, whether it's a live stream, a short, or a main channel video. I want there to be at least one form of content going up every day. So today it will be a live stream. Past couple of days we've had a few shorts go up, which have actually done really well. And I want to try and get a main channel video for Sunday. So after I've done the stream here, I'm going to shoot a bit more content for the Trenton. And then tomorrow I may have to do some editing to try and get it for Sunday. Get ready for Sunday. There hasn't been a main channel video on the channel now in about 18 months. So it's been a while. Everything's good here? Fantastic. How are you? I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing well. It's been a pretty good week. Been enjoying the live streams. Quite happy I've got a few shorts out this week. I want to try and get a main channel video up. We will see though. Okay, automatic off, everything on the underside done, or dial side. Cut the power, take off the balance, and strip it all the way down. So I'll just move the click out of the way, Let the ratchet wind down. Now, to make sure that there is no power, I'm going to take the ratchet wheel off. So now there is no power. There is no way any power can be held, so when I strip down the rest of it, there's not going to be a power discharge. Very tight screw. There's a few tight screws on this one. Nice. Which watch will you be servicing in the video? So the watch, I'll show you it. It's a Trenton pocket watch. Now, I wasn't familiar with the brand, but somebody has reached out and asked me if I could service it for them. I've said I'll take a look. So it's all cleaned, it's all ready to go. Got a new mainspring, which I need to do some adapting to fit, because it's quite difficult trying to get the right size. It's a tiny bit bigger, and it's also got a T-section on it. So that should be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that tonight. Hopefully get it going. If I get most of the footage for it, I can at least start editing. And then obviously tomorrow I want to try and get to work so that I can do the Omega bezel. Mainspring barrel almost looks as big as the other movement. Yeah, it's a pretty beefy. There you go. It's a pretty beefy barrel. Quite chunky. So it's got a thick mainspring. Probably as big as a ladies movement. Or the 581. So yeah, new mainspring. It's going to need a hairspring adjustment. And I was looking at the age of the Trenton pocket watches. It looks like they're from like the late 1800s. Probably one of the oldest I've worked on. That'd be fun to watch. I hope so. Be something a bit different. Although I've got a few pocket watches on the channel. I've also got a Waltham, which is also stripped down. I'll be recording a video for that as well. So we've got a Trenton, a Waltham, and a Benson, which I haven't started yet. And that's the one that needs a new mainspring. I think I've shown it. Yeah, this one. This one needs a bit more work. Needs some gold wire to solder some lugs in place, as well as patch some holes. You can see it's wearing very thin, so I haven't started that one. I was thinking, what's the likelihood of being able to do main channel video every week. It's probably unlikely. I think every other week's going to be a bit more realistic. Yeah, once a fortnight, once every 2 weeks. I'll show you the case. No, it's not silver, but there she is. Nickel-oid is what is on the case back. Might be able to make out in the microcam. But yeah. Oh, the Benson. No, the Benson is 9-carat gold. Yeah, the Benson's 9-carat gold. So, needs gold wire and gold filling. It's nice though, nice little cushion case. Case restoration, New Balance staff, be good fun. Yeah, the lighting probably is affecting how it's coming up on video. Yes, 9-carat yellow gold. Yeah, so these movements were bought in a job lot, I believe. So I've got like half a dozen chronograph movements to have a look at, and then 2 SW-200s. So they'll probably be used to build watches or complete watches. Also got to make sure the movements are good. That's everything stripped out. You can see like, it's a bit hard to tell, but got a bit of dust and debris on the case, not case, bridge. Just a little bit. I think that's from the automatic reversers. Little bits of metal dust getting over the plates. So let's go through, peg the jewels. Get all the nasties out. Yeah, very easy to see from this side. Build in what way? Is in like almost like movement exchanges type thing. If movement's too far gone, damaged, maybe rusty, You can take one of these, switch it out basically, or build watches in. I know there's a lot of stock currently being held with the family business. They've got dials, hands, cases. Just need movements. For like Oris's, usually run the ETA and Salitas. Oh, that yoke is not wanting to come out. There she goes. I've actually seen quite a lot recently, a lot more water damaged movements, so a lot more rust damaged movements. I think one of them was even on the shorts I released a few days back. A rusty 3135, cleaned up lovely though. Thankfully the rust wasn't too detrimental. It was only, well, I say only surface. It was still quite tough to get rid of. Oh, that's the camera shutting off. But yeah, built-in watches, when you got, I guess, stock, hands, dials, cases. So you got like a complete watch, but without the movement. Do you know which brand these would have been? I do. On the rotor, what tag? So this would have been tag, but obviously you can switch out rotors if you need to. Oris have a very distinct rotor compared to the tag I just showed you. Obviously it's half red. I'm not quite sure where these were bought from now that I'm thinking about it, because I think all of these movements I have are from tag. I've never worked for tag, so unless these were bought because tag done movement exchanges and they've just had these lying around and these were old movements, which are still perfectly fine to use, a perfect movement, perfectly good movements, but just need a bit of TLC. But I do hear about brands that will just do movement swaps now rather than service on mechanical watches. Just take out old movement, put in a new one, and call it a day. So probably one of those, because even the, you see on the, this is 7 SW, sorry, I'm about to say 7750, but it's the SW-500. Yep, also tag. Yeah, because I reckon that's what these movements are. Probably from a movement exchange. They got picked up in a lot. I'll find a home for them. Makes sense. It's the only logical reason I can really think of as to why, because these are all complete movements. I'll show you, 1 second. I'll show you just how many we have. Just the way that they're packaged, the way, yeah. They're all tags. So imagine these have all just been switched out, part of a movement exchange. These are the old movements. And they were sold in a lot. I've been asked if I can service them, or if they're all good to go as it is. Kind of check them over almost. But I need content, so I'm going to strip a few down. So I've got plenty of work to do if I need it. Oh, actually. Oh, that's strange. Got an Oris crown on one of them, so crown's probably gone missing. Just fit something that would work. So yeah, plenty to do. Hello gentlemen, hello Von Krell, how you doing? Good evening, good night. It's 20 past 11 here. Hope you're doing well. We are just doing a little strip down. I mean, this one is now basically all the way stripped down to the base plate. What I've really got to do is the barrel. Now this watch was ticking, so I don't think the mainspring's broken. So I'll just pop it open. Yeah, mainspring seems all good. Let me just bring it into focus a bit. I need my barrel tool. So this is used to close barrels, to press down the barrel cap, but you can also use them to knock out the barrel arbor. So I'll just put it in the middle and I'll just poke. There we go. And there's the arbor. Need things to do, keep us off the streets and out of trouble. That's very true. Very true indeed. Go back onto main cam. Take out the mainspring without it pinging out. There's the mainspring. When you install a brand new mainspring, do you use tweezers to drop it into the barrel or some other method? So when you get a new mainspring, typically it will have a metal ring surrounding it to obviously hold it. So you can basically rest it part of the way into the barrel. Well, maybe a third of the way in. And what I will do is I'll use my tweezers and I'll start to poke the corners where it's pressed up against that ring. I'll start to press it down. Once it's as far in as I can get it from pressing to get it level with its housing ring, I'll then take the very edge of the mainspring and push it down. If you don't do it evenly, there's a chance that a part of the mainspring won't go in deep enough and it will just ping out and hit you in the face, so don't do that. You gotta try it. Make sure you press it down evenly. I'll just use my screwdriver and just slowly work it down. That's how I have always done it. It has worked for me. Get my baskets. Yeah, I'm thinking getting 2 new reversers for this one. I haven't seen anything else that needs replacing just yet. Also, gonna put the rotor in. Thank you. I was wondering about using my Bergeron plunger, the appropriate one for that barrel. I've never used any I guess fancy tools for putting in a new mainspring. The only tools I've really used, I guess, for old ones are the mainspring winders, but that's about it. I mean, even then you can do it by hand a lot of the time. Alright, that's the SW-200. All stripped down. And in the machine, soon to be in the machine. Before I do that, rather than have you look at nothing, I'll set up our next watch, because we've got the SW-500. What watch cleaning machine do you have? So I have a Griner automatic. It's one of the old ones. It's an ultrasonic version. Let me get it. Let me get the basket in, and maybe I'll get the camera set up to have a look. Oh, there's the grinder going. Yeah, it's one of the older models. Oh, battery's going dead already. 1 second. Installing a new mainspring is one of the first things I do when I get back in a few days. Yeah, it should be quite easy. Quite easy to fit new ones as long as they're the right size. Might just level up from my cheap ultrasonic to an Elmer before I progress to an automated cleaning machine system or cleaning system. The better ultrasonic machine would still be an asset long term. Absolutely, yeah. It's a long term thing. Found a food dehydrator with removable shelves and horizontal airflow. Perfect unit for drying parts. That actually sounds very ideal, especially if you're working in, I guess, decent quantity. Brenray? I've not heard of Brenray. Brenray? Let me look it up. Oh, okay, yep. It's a manual cleaning machine. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm coming up with something else. Ignore me. Oh, maybe is it? Okay, no, I think it might be actually. Yeah, the manual version. Give me 1 second. Trying to like just show you the brand. Trying to like focus it. Ugh. It's a bit of a stretch here with my PC setup. This is the grinder. It's a grinder automatic. It's an old one. Don't worry about that. That's just the machine telling me it's done, its cycle. It's out of sync, sadly. So the way that this machine is meant to be set up is meant to finish in the dryer and that beep will go off. But it actually finishes now in the first cycle. So I've put it through a few times and then I have to stop it when it's in the dryer. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to like focus, but yeah, I might be absolutely butchering that name. I've always say grinder. Yeah, it's an older one. The newer ones cost like 15 plus grand. The new ones are really expensive. I think I paid just over £2,000 for that one. Yeah, this one was about 2.2 grand I paid for it. So, definitely an investment. Yeah, the newer ones you're looking at least for the ultrasonic versions, 10 plus grand, 12 plus grand for the Elmer, Greiner. I think that, yeah, all of the new ultrasonic versions are hitting 5 figures plus. So, yeah, not cheap. I mean, we've discussed about machinery and equipment being expensive in the watch industry. That's another one to add to the list. Alright, I'm just trying to get the cam set back up. Yeah, pricey. Very pricey. But worth it. Right, let me put this movement aside. And we can work our way onto the chronograph. Yeah, working from home, I've just got it tucked away in the corner of this room. Just about squeezed it in. It's not a small piece of kit. My retro watches, he had to replace the motor on his washer. I think the motor on this one was recently replaced. It looks like it's been replaced at least. So hopefully I can get a good few years out of it. But yeah, it's out of sync, so I can manage it. It's fine. I basically just need to make sure that I stop the machine in the heating cycle. Otherwise it'll go straight into the first cycle, which is where it stops and beeps. But it's manageable. Probably weighs a ton too. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. It's a solid metal frame, so yeah, she's a bit chunky. Definitely a two-person job to carry it up here. I'm talking too much. I'm not. I need to start working on this chronograph. It's already 20 to 12. I see this one's not got a proper crown set up, so. But I was quite lucky because the people that were selling it, they were quite happy to come around and actually drop it off. Oh yeah, I'll take that. They were situated somewhere in London. And they came up north a little bit to drop it off. Right, so this is designed for the 7750s, but they're basically the same. Same but different. There we go. cam. I gotta set my camera again. It's a bit out of sync, but that's all good. Yeah, it's a pretty heavy machine. Oh. Yeah, I've got to try and remember some of the key differences between the SW and the ETA. I haven't worked much on the Solita version of the chronograph. I've worked on obviously the automatic SW-200 a little bit. Not really the SW-500. I might try and leave this plate in. Just not touch it. Some of those springs can be quite a pain. Yes, I'll try and loosen it, remove the date disc. Yeah, we'll just take it off. We'll take it off. Off it comes. So no, this spring can be quite fiddly. It's a very, very thin. Oh, spring. It's still on the tension, so let's not lose anything. Just gonna put my finger on it. There we go. Trying to discharge it without it pinging. Nice. Springs out. Just prodding it with Rodico to get the screws out. Now I did hear this spring jump up. No doubt a lot of it was cast iron, yeah. Oh yes. Obviously nowadays it's all plastic, but back then they were quite robustly built. It's all metal frame and cast, so she's heavy. But she is sturdy. She ain't going nowhere. Nope. Thick. Oh yes. She thick. Thick machine. Alright, I'm gonna get my hand levers and we'll remove the friction piece. I think I may have done my wrist in, my right wrist is playing up. Hear it cracking. That's not good. That's my wrist. I noticed it was starting to play up after I was doing a load of filing on a stem that I was trying to adapt for a Rolex. It's now just starting to play up. What's the plastic part? Because that's all part of the hammer reset for the chronograph. So you've got this, I'm trying to show you. So, because this is your hammer reset for the hour. Yeah, this is for the hour. And basically, a post goes through the base plate, engage with the hammer, and it all engages here on this side. So yeah, this plastic piece is just part of the hammer reset for the chronograph function. Now, I actually didn't get that wheel in place. I'm kind of have a little look. I think it also acts as a stopper. Yeah, it's all part of the hammer reset and stops it. Oh. There we go. So yeah, this little plastic piece is all engaged with the hammer reset. It also stops the hour recorder wheel. So disengage, re-engage. Yeah, it's all part of the chronograph system for the hour recorder. That's what I'm trying to say. That is if you're referring to this piece. I can't think of anything else that you're referring to. That's the only plastic piece there is at the moment. Yeah, so it's part of the chronograph's hour recorder and it stops it. But it also engages, well, it's engaging into the hammer reset. Do you have a favourite thin movement? I wouldn't say I have a favourite, no. It's been a while since I've worked on like a thin movement. It feels so wrong in some way. It does. They're not always plastic. I have worked on variants where they have metal pieces rather than plastic. Don't ask me why they use plastic over metal and why sometimes they use metal. I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure. It's just how it is. But yeah, so that's stop piece. It's a bit rough. You like the SW-300-1? Which one's the SW? Let me have a little look. SW-300. As I said, Salita I've worked on a little bit. SW-300-1. Oh, it's like the 2892. Okay. So the 2892 equivalent is the SW-300. The 2824 equivalent is the SW-200, and the 7750 is the 7750 is the SW-500 variant. I tend to go for low complications. Don't mind if a movement doesn't even hack. I mean, that's how you learn. Don't overcomplicate things when you're learning. SW-300-1 is a clone. Yeah, clone of the 2892. Yeah. Yeah, this is the SW-500, so this is the 7750 equivalent. It's like so long since I've been doing or done any of these Salitas and ECAs. All I'm doing at the moment is Rolexes. I've got to like jog my memory a little bit. Ooh, that's actually quite a big fuzz bit. So I always pull this hammer aside, or this tension spring that engages with the hammer. Boom. Otherwise you'll take off this top automatic plate and the whole thing goes poof, explodes in your face. But there's now no tension. We'll take off the 3 screws holding this plate down and nothing will go missing. I have had on occasion before I was taught how to do this, or taught this, I would leave it under tension whilst taking off this top plate, and on a few occasions, you know, things may have gone into orbit, so just take that off and then poof, everything just falls apart. Make sure everything is clean. 1 second. Zelo's released a 37mm watch with a with the 7001 recently. A bit small for me, but they're nice. Even the Tantalum one? Tantalum. In a cheaper price segment, I definitely won't turn my nose up the CNC dial. Not many skilled operators. There's engines around in the world. Okay, so I'm trying to refresh where I'm at with this. Okay, so now, we put this spring aside as to not cause any damage. Now I'm going to try and take it off without it. Well, try to do it in a controlled manner. So pick it up, lift it, and slowly release it, and it comes off. Yeah, this one's quite, quite strong. Quite a strong spring. Oh my, seeing ladies' Rolexes watches with very small movements. Yep, you can get some pretty small movements. I'm trying to think what the smallest one I've worked on is. I have worked on a movement probably about the size of my pinky nail. Smaller. Oh, come on you. Why aren't you coming off? Get some Rodico. There we go. Rodico to the rescue. You like thin movements, but ideally the movement fills the case out pretty well. So do you like the case is quite thin also, I take it? Quite sleek movements and non-automatics, I imagine. Because I guess you can get the thin micro rotors. Yeah, you got the micro rotors which are quite thin and automatic. Maybe not the most efficient, but they're there. The Universal that use them. Micro rotors. I think who else uses micro rotors? Yeah, the 2892s are actually quite sleek. Oh, sorry, the SW-300. Same difference, but yeah, you can get them pretty sleek. Quite low. Get close to a 9mm case height. Let's cut the power. Bit rough on the winding. We'll check out the keyless. I don't think I've worked on the SW-300s really. Obviously the 2892s, but not the Sellita variants. Or if I have, I've not acknowledged it. Always favour Sellitas because of easier availability to parts. I have also heard that the quality of Sellitas in recent years has gotten a lot better. I know when they were first coming out, it wasn't good, I'll be honest. Because when I was working on, this going back probably best part of 10 years ago, 8-10 years ago, when I was seeing Sellitas compared to ETAs, the quality was just not there. But apparently now Sellita have upped their game to the point now where they are ahead of the ETA variants. Which is good to hear. So I remember looking at like the great wheels were also quite common. The teeth on the great wheels would just be chewed to shreds. I'm not sure if it was the materials they were using in the early days or quite what. But yeah, I think there's a big quality difference now compared to when they were starting. Because I think they also changed something with their automatic, because I think Tag, whenever they do a service, I think they even do their ball, they replace the ball bearing racing, or ball racing, whatever you want to call it. So they replace all the automatic wheels, so the 2 reverses, the reduction wheel and the driving wheel, and I believe they also changed the ball bearing for the rotor. I upgraded their parts. Oh, it's come loose. There we go. Often Solita will add an extra joule, so the joule count can tell ETA versus Solita sometimes. Yeah, one thing I did notice was they put joules in the barrel bridge for the barrel arbor. I don't think ETA ever done a joule for the arbor in the bridge. Don't believe so. That was one of the differences I did notice. Just give me 1 second. So I'm just putting the cleaner machine through its cycle again. So this one's now nearly stripped down, just got the top plate really. Using a Miyota 9039 Auto and making stainless case, can get that just under 9mm. Very much still have a lot to improve, but would love something under Miyota 4.1 movement. Because Miyota, again, it's one of those ones I've worked on them, but not to an extensive degree. For reversing wheels, I've added a little 9010 to IPA and mixed it. Oh, mixing. Then dip the wheels in that solution and wipe off the excess. The alcohol evaporates, leaving a very thin film of 9010, we hope. Ah. That's an interesting technique. Yeah, hopefully it leaves just the 9010, we hope. I have sometimes added very, very small amounts, like inside, when I've noticed there's a tiny bit of, I guess, resistance, or it's not quite as smooth as I would like it. I have sometimes put a little bit of 9010 inside just to try and ease things up. But yeah. Also, question, as you're viewing, has YouTube changed the viewing page for you guys? It's changed for me. Usually comments would be straight underneath the video and I can see more analytics, but they've now put recommended videos straight underneath the video that you're watching or the stream, and now the comments are off to the side. I know they tried that change a little while back, but then they resorted back to the old way. But they've now implemented the change a second time, so I'm not sure if it's the same for you guys as well. Is YouTube just playing around with things they don't need to? That's the big bridge removed. So that's both the train and the barrel bridge. Just taking everything out. So now we've just got the base plate. Yeah, I think usually we're just playing around with the layouts a little bit. So obviously when you view a video, you'll have suggested videos to the right, to the right, down the side, and then right underneath the video is the comment section. Whereas now, right underneath the videos, at least on my homepage or viewing screen, right underneath the video is now suggested videos rather than comments, and comments are then off to the right. Probably trying to gouge more interest in other content. Yeah, they're probably just trying to gauge what people's responses are. I was saying earlier in the stream as well, the goal for this month of July is to have a piece of content go up every day. So it could be a short, it could be a live stream, or it could be a main channel video. But the goal is to get something up every day. It's probably why I'm also up late at the moment, trying to do a live stream. Make sure I get some content up today. Oh, these screws are tight. Woo! Come on. Okay, that one wasn't so bad. You don't have it there. Maybe they're trying. For me, this page appears the old way, as you described it. Yeah, it was the old way for me, and then they changed it to the new, and then they changed it back. So they're probably just playing around, seeing what engagement there is from my point of view. So I remember, I think it was on Twitter, it was met with quite a bit of backlash. So, oh, what are you doing, YouTube? Changing things you don't need to change. So let's try and get this yoke out. Yoke is out. Setting lever, out comes the stem. winding and sliding pinions, and we have now got just the base plate. I'm going to leave this particular spring in place, don't need to touch that, just leave it. So all we have to do is take out the balance jewels. Right. Yeah, this one's a smaller one. Some Vacheron thin cases are was it Jaeger LeCoultre movements. I think the Royal Oaks have the same Jaeger movements. Very, very thin Vacheron case. I take it we're quite fond of our thin cases here. Like the nice sleek look. I do as well, to be fair. What was I doing? Get the balance on. There we go. That's a bit of a fight. Zelo's advertises the new Nova 37mm as 7mm thick, but they're being naughty, not including the crystal. Ooh. Is it a domed crystal that kind of, you know, adds a couple of mil, so it's closer to like 9? No, I really want a Vacheron. Are we going to start looking at watches again? Are we going to start looking at prices of watches? Seeing what's available? I think 39mm is my lower limit. 39 is still a good size. I'll go down to 36 with the Rolex day dates. Pretty sure that is it. Yeah, day dates 36. Pretty sure. Some watch with a Vacheron Constantin Cal 1003. Just looks too good. Some of the Vacherons still look nice. Vacheron Constant. Danger, danger. Box crystal. Yeah, that is a bit sneaky. A bit sneaky to not include, I guess, the true height. That should include everything. So I'm just having a look at how this barrel opens. There's a very, 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 very thin slit kind of going through the side. So I can't open this the way I typically do, which you see where I pinch the sides and pop it open. That's not going to work. Here, damn, chat gets everyone looking at watches again. Alright, you heard him. Noel's now wanting to look at some watches. Put some suggestions in chat as to what you should look at. I guess today's topic will be thin watches. Sleek. I think they should lead with the full height. Yeah, they should. They should do a without crystal kind of feels a little bit dishonest. So the way I'm going to open up this barrel is with a scalpel. Very, very, very thin blade, because there's not much of a gap to get into. So I've got to try and pop it open with a scalpel blade. Oh, got it. Got it. Ooh. But it's pretty common to see a bit of deception in marketing. Yeah. Kind of normalized so long, it's pretty blatant, as it's not blatant lying. It's not blatant lie, it's just a grey area almost. Where it's like they're not lying, but they're deceiving. They're deceiving you of, I guess, the actual truth. So yeah, the case is this thickness, but the glass doesn't count as the case. So, you know, we're not lying when we say the case is this thick. We just won't tell you about its true height. So it's not a lie, yeah. It's just misleading on the same level. So yeah. The case is this thick. It's not a lie. It's just a play on words. I'm not fond of. Yeah. Just be up front. Okay, this arbor, probably got to twist it. Come on, you. There we go. Got it. Had to give that a bit of a twist. Is the mic picking up the rainfall outside? They're starting to calm down again. So I'm just taking out the mainspring, so you probably won't see much at the moment. Hasn't been the standard to give a height without crystal. Standard is to include it. One second. mainspring out. And the mainspring looks all good. Nope. Is my battery dead? Might be that. No, no, we're good. I think we're low on battery. Or did I change it? Might have changed it. So mainspring is all good. The sound of the cleaning machine is blocking it out. It's going off again now. So this one's pretty much done. Nearly in the last cycle on the cleaning machine. Get that dry, and then get that cleaned. And I see I have, which one was it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, we've got a broken finger cop, so that's going to the bin. New finger cop. Deceiving. Look what happened with Bolivar and the tuning fork display with see-through face, but sold with full face. Yeah, that. Yeah, that one's not good. Imagine people would actually really like to have a see-through face to actually see everything function and work. You can't display it like that and then take it out and take it back. So this watch is now stripped down, and give me 1 second and I'll sort out the cleaning machine. I'll be back shortly. 1 second. Okay, so the SW-200 is done in the machine to let it cool down a little bit. Quite hot. So if made clear, would you be happy hearing exact height at the center of the watch, but not include the lugs reaching below the case back? I guess I'd like to know just exactly how it stands from the as low down as it will go, from the base of the lugs to the straight top, as high as it will go. Just give me all dimensions. All dimensions. Lugs included, not included. Case glass. I just want to see all dimensions. Not necessarily a deal breaker though. Obviously the main thing is how does it actually fit on the wrist. As long as you get the ability to test wear them, try them out. Don't think there's any other jewels I'm missing. A little bit of looking around where the cram wheel goes here. It's got a little bit of wear going into the plate. Being a little bit chewed. Yeah, lug to lug as well. Yeah, dial size. Well, the big ones. Yeah, dial size. Maybe not so much dial size. That's gonna be case size as well. Lug to lug. Yes. Yeah. And tell me what dimensions you look for when you're going for a watch. Yeah, lug to lug is a big deal for fitting the watch to your wrist. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Typically, obviously the main one is the case size. If it's a 40mm, 42mm. Alright, let me get the next. So we'll get this in the machine. I'm actually feeling alright at the moment. We've been, what, 2 hours on stream, I think? Maybe have a little look. Nearly 2 hours. I'm feeling alright. Probably got a little bit more in me, so I might make a start on the SW-200. Go to main cam. Is that right? Yeah, there we go. Let me get these baskets emptied. Get the chronograph in the machine. Okay, so baskets are empty, with the exception of the screw basket. Just give it a little tap to make sure nothing's sticking. Sometimes things like to stick. There we've got 2 screws. Okay, so with that one done, we'll get the chronograph in next, and we'll make a start assembling the SW-200. So, next lot into the baskets. Yeah, I love to lug, just measuring from one end of the lugs to the other. Obviously that's going to give you an indication of how it's going to sit on your wrist. Made spring in. A lot more components. The 7750. I'm sure I've got enough basket space. The one bad thing about not having a screw basket to put everything into, as I'm stripping down, is I've now got to, one bit at a time, get everything into the basket. And don't forget, these are just movements we're doing. So there's no case, there's no dial hands, just purely the movement. Oh. Nearly there. Just a few more screws. And done. Ooh. Actually, let's not forget. This plate's quite big. Okay. So that's the chronograph ready to go. Squeeze it in here. Nice, cool. Alright, then we get this in the machine. And we can then make a start on the SW-200. Chrono seems to have 2 times the parts. It does seem it, doesn't it? It really does. Let's have a look just how many parts there are. See what the difference is between the SW-500 and the SW-200. Alright, so I guess I should almost change the title now, because this is now no longer the strip down. We are now on to the assembly. So we'll just probably edit the title. Time for the assembly. Not sure how far I'm going to get it. We're a few hours now into the stream, but I'm feeling alright. It's now 20 to 1. Jesus Christ. Where has the time gone? So now our movement is nice and clean. So, how do I start? We'll take off the balance, get the keyless assembled, get the mainspring built, sorry, the balance built, so we'll wind up the mainspring. I'll probably get this one ticking. Before calling it a night. But we'll see. Shouldn't be too complex. It's a nice straightforward service. We'll check out the reverses as well, because I reckon we're going to get 2 new reverses. The flying springs on assembly. Don't you put that on me. No. No. Don't you be saying that. You're not allowed to say that. No springs will go flying. Itchy eye. Do you use any different kinds of oil for the chronos? No. No, I don't. All the same oils, just more of it. Obviously, there's a lot more areas to grease because there's a lot more metal contact, pushers and hammers engaging with each other. All of that needs to be lubricated. So same oils and greases, just more of it. I swear, if a spring does go flying, Joseph, might have to give you a day timeout. Ban you for a day. Can't be having that in my chat, especially if it comes true. Maybe it should be standard thing to replace the reversers every service or two. Don't know how they hold up. So I don't know how well they hold up. With Selita, I know they have that mandatory. At least I think it's with Tag, Oris. Mandatory. They'll change all the reversing. Sorry, not reversing. Automatic bits. So they'll give you a pack, and in that pack you get your 2 reverses, your induction wheel, and your driving wheel for the ratchet wheel. So you get like a whole pack to do all the wheels. All springs dream of space travel. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. They're also very good at playing hide and seek. Very, very good. Elite. There's the machine. I was going to leave it in there for a little bit before putting it onto the next cycle. Yeah, springs and screws are hide and seek champions. They can hide in plain sight. They do. They always do. Right underneath your nose. Diabolical is what they are. Okay, there we go. That was a bit fiddly. But we have a stem in place with our winding and sliding pinions. Pegwood and Rodico. Yep. Amount of times Rodico has saved me. Unreal. Now, good thing for you, Joseph, there's not too many springs on this watch. The main one that couldn't go ping and go missing would be the click spring. We're not there yet, but ooh, it better not go missing. It better not. Okay, I've got the setting lever. Where's my yoke? There it is. Okay, so that's all the parts of the keyless in place. We've got to put the setting lever spring in. For shock springs, I now use 2 pin vices with brass rods. Yeah, I'm still using either my tweezers or oilers. For the tougher shock springs, I've used the Seiko NH35s at least. Interlock springs are nice to deal with. You get different variations which require different toolings. Not all the shock springs are the same. Oh, come on, you. Try to get everything to engage properly with the keyless. At the moment, it does not. Oh, nope. How interesting. For some reason, our setting lever isn't engaging. Setting lever's good. So maybe it's broken. No. So why aren't you sitting flat? There we go. Okay, it now engages. It's being a bit fiddly, I think. I was going to preemptively put some grease in place, because this one might be a bit stiff. It's just the camera turning off. Put a little bit around the setting lever areas. There's metal engaging with metal, so everything slides over nicely. That setting lever was a bit stiff. One also needs a light touch. Yep, when gripping springs with the the tweezers, grip too tightly and goes flying. Yeah. Confidence and can't go a long way, still need a touch more practice. You can never have enough practice. But yes, you're right. If you squeeze too much, then you're going to send it to orbit. And obviously too little, it'll just drop. Too loose. It's something that you'll learn and develop over time. as you get more confident and you adapt more to the tools that you're using. Which is why I like these tweezers now so much, because I've used these from day one pretty much. So I've become very accustomed to the tension and how much force needs to be applied for certain jobs. Because obviously different tweezers will have different tensions and require different amount of forces to do the same job. So if you've stuck, like myself, with one set of tweezers, you become very accustomed to very, very, very fine movements. But yeah, it's something that you'll become accustomed to. When it comes to like sharpening or cleaning up the tips of my tweezers, where is it? Where's my sharpening block? So let's say maybe my tweezers are a little bit on the dull side. Just want to give them a little touch up. Got a little sharpening stone. You can just depends on how much of a fine point I want. Then again, that is not a number 5 tweezer any longer. No. It comes down to muscle memory. Takes time to establish that. Yeah. Of course. And if you take a long break, you'll be rusty. Yeah, it'll take some time to kind of get it back, but muscle memory will kick in. Arkansas stone is okay, I assume. Which one's Arkansas stone? I'm sure it'll be fine. This was just one that I got from a job lot. Pass it down. It's one of my favorite sharpening blocks or stones. It's amazing. I love it. But let me just give me 1 second. Yeah, a Kansas stone should be fine. They're quite fine, aren't they? The Arkansas stones. They're quite a fine sharpening stone. So let's look at images of them. I know the one that you mean. They're quite fine. They should be fine. Yeah. Are they anti-magnetic? I don't believe these ones are. No. These ones aren't anti-magnetic. Now that I'm here, I might as well just, seeing as I have my stone out, I'm just going to quickly sharpen the edge of the tips of my tweezers. You use the Arkansas stone for your screwdrivers. Is it rough enough? Is the Arkansas stone? Because the one I'm thinking of is actually quite a fine sharpening stone. Because I've used a it's actually a metal sharpening block. I can't remember the name. But why use it? It's almost like a diamond sharpening stone. what I use for my screwdrivers. Okay, there we go. That's what we wanted. So we now have proper engagement in the keyless. Before, the stem was just pulling straight out. The second lever wasn't sitting far down enough. Now it is. So happy days. We can now engage properly. I got some grease in there. We'll flip it over and we'll do the barrel. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. What a long day. Let's get some grease in place. The brand of my tweezers is Dumont. Okay, it says number 5s, but ignore that. It's no longer a pair of number 5s. You can probably see they're a bit stubbier, but I've grown very accustomed to them. I can do most of what I need to do with just these screwdrivers. Where they start to struggle is with hairspring work. I need something much finer, an actual pair of number 5s for hairspring work. These are just, they can be too bulky, too big, too thick. But for most work, they do well. Let me just put some on the keyless on the stem at the top. Get a little bit of grease on the winding and sliding pinions. What I'll do is I'll get the oiler in place, spin it a bit, get the grease across all the teeth. There are different materials too. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it says anything else on here. This is the only writing on there. Because I never owned these from new, so I'm not entirely sure what else there is information wise for these tweezers. That's all I got. Could be new invention. Is that a really old one? It's going to be a pretty old pair. It's going to be a pretty old pair of tweezers. I couldn't tell you just how old, but they're old. They were used when they came to me. This was a decade ago. Probably a lot older than that. Time to do the barrel. So we'll grease the side of the walls. And then I'm going to hand wind the mainspring. Okay, so that's the walls greased. A little bit of 8300 on the base. I think we've got a bit of hair there. That's all good. Right, now to get the mainspring in. Okay, so getting the mainspring in, we take the end. I'm going to try and feed it around whilst pushing it up against the wall. Again, that first loop is the trouble, but once that's done, it's actually not that bad. Okay, didn't quite get it that time. Got it the second though. Second time, got it. I don't mind hand winding mainsprings in at this size. It's when it gets slow, like ladies' watches where the barrels are a lot smaller. It can be a bit more of a pain. But that one was alright. I don't have zoom cam. There you go. Let me get the barrel arbor out, get the barrel arbor fitted. Get some grease on there first. So I've pressed it down, done my best to line up the notch in the arbor. with the hole in the mainspring. Take the barrel cap, apply a bit of grease, and you just heard the snap of the barrel cap going into place. So bringing it back to the base plate, or the main plate. Make sure you're in focus again. A little bit of grease for the arbor bearings. And just because I know it can be a pain to get the great wheel in, we'll get the great wheel in now. Check the pivots. Pivots are good. Barrel goes in. Tiny bit more grease. This is going onto the arbor, but before the bearing. And also, where is she? Our stop piece. So we've got some magnetism on our tweezers. And that's the bridge. So yeah, what I was saying, there's a jewel here in the barrel bridge. Pretty sure they use a bush in the ETAs. So it's need to use a jewel. It's one of the giveaways that I've seen. Little difference. Drink. So far I have the Dumont 3, Dumont 5, can't see because there's something in the way. Is that a set that you got then? Dumont Star 09. Are those all like in a set? Are they all just standard tweezers? I'm not entirely sure on which ones you have, because I know you get very specific tweezers for certain jobs. You'll have hook tweezers, bent ones, flat ones, all sorts. You got them individually. Nice. He bought a case for them. Don't blame you. Keep them safe. Keep them safe. Get some oil in place and we'll get the train in position. I only picked up a tiny bit there. Tiny bit more. Did the same with the Bergeron mainspring winders. Have only a few winders, but bought the Bergeron case for them. Cause I take it you got the. I remember you telling me you got like the main sizes that you're going to be using. So you got the essential ones that you'll be using most commonly. The numbered sizes. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, numbered. Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 11. Both left and right arbors, except for 11. Only right. It's good that you got them both way. Where's my escape wheel? It's hiding from me. Oh no, I got it. Found it. Trying to hide from me. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll get this watch up to its ticking and I'll call it a day. What I might do is go live tomorrow, get this finished off. We can make a start on the chronograph as well. Let me get some screws in here. It's not all the way down properly. And Joseph, if you're still here, we're about to get to that click spring. So, is it going to go flying? I do hope not. And the click spring will go just in here. We'll also get the cram wheel ready. There's our click. Where is spring? There we go. Okay. Press down, slide in, push. Piece of cake. Get the click in position. And now we'll apply some grease around this bearing. Then we'll fit the crown wheel, get the ratchet on, pallets, balance. And that's it. That'll be today. Put a moderate amount of grease down here. See, there's a bit of wear on the plate, so put a little bit of grease down. Okay, crown wheel is in position. Now just a crown wheel screw. Nice. It is smart. It's cost effective as well. Very cost effective. He's still fighting the urge though to fill it up. Resist. Although maybe you'll need some of the smaller ones if you're going to do ladies' watches, you know. Just in case you're thinking of doing ladies' calibers. Maybe you'll need something smaller. You don't need all the winders, you idiot. That's how you talk to yourself. Oh yeah, but you know, they'd be nice to have. Imagine having the complete set. Yeah, you'll end up just acquiring tools here and there for certain jobs and just keep them in your arsenal. All right, we've got everything in position for the train and barrel. So I'm just gonna go around, oil everything. I'm the devil. I mean, just picture it. Picture having complete set, everything organized, every space filled. Complete. Bit more oil there. That was the escape wheel. Third wheel, great wheel. It's a grand vision. It's a grand expense as well. Sorry, a little bit out of position there. Power's going through the train nicely. How long have we been live at the moment? Yeah, 2.5 hours. So I'll probably be going to about 3 hours, 3 hour mark roughly. Tried finding this stream. We last talked about oils but couldn't find it. Oh, good luck. Yeah, you're probably not gonna have much luck finding that. So which oils am I using again? So 9010 for the escape wheel jewels, 941 for the pallets. The grease I use currently is 8300. I also use 8200. 9104? Is it 9401? 9104 I believe is a thicker red grease. Oil, sorry. Right, I need to now look this up. One second. Yeah, 9104. That's what I use on the rest of the train. So Rolex would then also use a graphite-based grease on their barrels, or at least they used to. I have to get the reference for the current one I'm using. You're about to order 8200, 9010, 9104 yourself? Yeah, that's what I use. And then 941 for pallets, escapement. Looking good? It is looking good. Can you imagine working on a fusee from the 17th century with a tiny chain? I don't need to imagine it. I have worked on a couple of fusees. I've worked on them under supervision. I still need to have more practice with them. Need a lot more practice. In due time. At the moment, I'm kind of just handling more modern, somewhat vintage Rolexes is what I'm spending my day-to-day doing. You have 8200 for mainsprings, Kluber for P125 for barrel wool. Yeah, I need to find out which one it is I use for the barrel wool. It's a red thick grease. I can't remember the reference. 9415 for pallet stones. It sounds very similar to what I have my setup. Right, carry on. So, I do hear the nightmares sometimes you get with the fusee chains. If they break, you need a replacement, and because obviously due to the age, getting parts is a nightmare. Alright, let's get the pallets in. Oh, hello. Okay. We may have to put this one on hold. I've just seen something. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to show you. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to put this watch aside for the time being, because we have an issue. Soon I need to buy a pocket watch. Then his help that staying in set isn't going to put itself to work. Yeah, you got the tools. You got the tools now. Got to put those tools to work. Oh. So sorry. Right, so pallets. And this is the reason why I'm going to put this aside for the time being. Waltham, I guess. I hear railway-oriented watches tend to be better built. I've worked on maybe a couple of railway road-oriented watches, and yeah, they're pretty solid. Waltham, yeah, Waltham's a pretty good way to go. They're pretty sturdy. Oh, I've just nudged it. Let me just put you back. There you go. So, I mean, maybe that could be cleaned up, but I'm gonna ask and see if we can get a replacement set of pallets, because this is no good. So that's gonna put this assembly on hold for the time being. I'll see if I can get another pair tomorrow. Some more, another set of pallets. Wonder how that happened. I'm not sure. There's no sign of any rust anywhere else. There's no sign of water ingress or anything. The movement did come to me without a case or anything, so it has been exposed to the elements. So maybe just the pallets were the one that took the hit, because nothing else seems to have been affected. Everything else seems to be okay. It's a bit strange, but yeah, we've got some a targeted rust attack. That's literally what this is. Yeah, it's literally a very targeted assault on the pallets. Too tiny to save, maybe. It could be saved. It doesn't look. It looks like it's a little. Yeah. Because my concern initially was where the impulse pin engages with the pallets. It's like starting to creep down a bit. It's like it makes more. Sorry. Makes more sense if that was part, or that part was taken from another movement. Yeah. It would make sense. It could be saved, potentially, but I think it's a no-brainer to just replace it. So I'm gonna ask, see if we have the spare parts, and just replace it. I don't see that much sense in saving this one. A shame. Puts this on hold for a little bit, but I'm pretty sure we can get parts, so it's not an issue. Yeah, it's very targeted because everything else on the movement seems clean. Yeah, it does make more sense if this part was taken from another movement. Yeah. Replacement is what you'd want. Yeah. I'm in agreement. It's too much. Alright, well, I'm going to have to put this on hold then. See if I can get a spare tomorrow. Maybe I can. If I do get a spare, I will finish this off tomorrow. I'm struggling to pronounce words at the moment. It's gone, what, 1:30. My brain is shutting down. So, yeah, I'm probably going to call it a night now. Been a pretty solid stream. Shame it's finished like that, but yeah, the rest of the movement's showing no signs of rust or anything. But it is what it is. Can't change it. We'll change the pallets. We will change them out. I'm not going to try and save it. So, how long have we been live for? Nearly 3 hours. So I think that's pretty good going. My brain shut down an hour ago. I feel that. Put in enough time for sure. Yeah, I think 3 hours is a good time to call it. Apparently quick movement attracts corrosion. Yeah, it's funny that. Very funny that. You'd expect maybe one of the other parts to go first, but no. Not only that, but it was the only part that seems to have been affected. Very peculiar. Yeah, Von Crow, I think you might be right. I think that part might have been changed out in the past. So maybe yeah, they needed a pair of pallets and just took it from here. Possibly. Not going to jump to conclusions, but I'll get that replaced. But yeah, alright everyone, thank you all for joining once again. It has been a very good stream, I would say. It's a shame I can't get this one completed, but that's the hand I've been dealt. I'll see if I can get the parts tomorrow. We do also now have the chronograph in the cleaning machine, so we'll do that one tomorrow as well. Although I do need to work on the pocket watch, because I want to get a main channel video up at least. So we'll see how tomorrow plays out. But that means I need to get to bed soon, because it's now 20 to 2. Alright. I'm a dip, get some food, and we go again tomorrow. Alright, everyone, have a wonderful night, wonderful evening. I'm going to leave the jumping to conclusions to you. And yeah, thank you all for joining. It has been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, thank you for joining. Hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you later. Ciao.